My name is Sam. Today I want to share my journey of learning English. It wasn't easy. When I started, I knew nothing. I felt like I was starting from zero. But now I can speak fluently. I want to tell you how I did it. At first, English was like a mountain. I couldn't understand anything. I remember sitting in class feeling lost. The teacher would speak, and I would just nod, pretending to understand. But inside, I was scared. I thought, how will I ever learn this? One day I tried to speak in English. It was a disaster. People laughed, and I felt so embarrassed. I wanted to cry. I went home and thought, maybe I should give up, but something inside me said, "No, Sam, don't quit. You can do this." I started small. I learned one word a day. Every morning I would pick a new word and try to use it. At night I would practice saying it out loud. Slowly, one word became two, then three, and soon I knew many words. I remember reading my first English book. It was so hard. I had to stop every few minutes to look up a word, but I didn't give up. Every page I finished felt like a victory. I still remember how proud I felt when I finally reached the last page. There were many days when I felt like I wasn't making any progress. But I learned that it's okay to struggle. It's part of the process. I realized that every mistake I made was a step forward. As someone once said, failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success. One of my biggest challenges was speaking. I was so afraid of making mistakes. But then I heard a quote that changed my mind. It said, "Don't be afraid of being wrong, be afraid of never trying." I realized that if I didn't try, I would never learn. So I started speaking, even if I made mistakes. I met some people who helped me along the way. There was a kind lady at the library who always encouraged me. She would smile and say, "You're doing great, Sam." Keep going, her words gave me hope. I learned that having people who support you can make all the difference. I also learned that practice is key. Every day I would listen to English songs, watch English movies, and try to speak as much as I could. It wasn't always easy. Sometimes I felt tired. But I kept going. As they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. There were times when I felt lonely. Learning a new language can be isolating. I felt like I couldn't express myself. But I found comfort in writing. I would write down my thoughts in English, even if they weren't perfect. It helped me feel connected to the language. I remember one time when I felt so frustrated. I had been studying for months, but I still couldn't understand people when they spoke quickly. I cried that day. But then I thought about how far I had come. I reminded myself, it's okay, Sam, you're learning. You'll get there. Slowly I started to see progress. I could understand more. I could speak without thinking so much. It felt like magic. The words that once felt so foreign now felt like they belonged to me. I felt proud. One of the most important lessons I learned was to be patient. Learning a language takes time. You can't rush it. But if you stay consistent and keep trying, you will improve. As the saying goes, slow and steady wins the race. There were also moments of joy. I remember the first time I had a conversation in English without needing to stop and think. It felt amazing. I realized that all the hard work was worth it. It was a small moment, but it meant so much to me. Along the way, I met other people who were also learning English. We shared our struggles and successes. It felt good to know that I wasn't alone. We helped each other, and that made the journey less difficult. One day I was asked to give a presentation in English. I was so nervous. My hands were shaking. But I remembered the quote, "Courage doesn't mean you don't get afraid. Courage means you don't let fear stop you." I took a deep breath and started speaking. It wasn't perfect, but I did it. I learned that confidence comes with practice. The more you use the language, the more confident you become. It's like a muscle that gets stronger with use. I also realized that it's important to celebrate small victories. Every new word I learned, every sentence I spoke, was a step closer to fluency. It's easy to focus on what you don't know, but it's important to acknowledge how far you've come. Sometimes I would think about how my life had changed since I started learning English. Before, I felt limited. But now, I feel free. I can communicate with people from all over the world. It's an incredible feeling. There were still challenges. Even now, I don't know every word. But I've learned that it's okay. No one knows everything. What's important is to keep learning and improving. I remember a time when I was asked a question in English, and I didn't know how to answer. I felt embarrassed. But then I thought, it's okay not to know. It's okay to ask for help, so I asked for the meaning of the word, and I learned something new. One thing that really helped me was setting goals. I would say to myself, this week, I'm going to learn 5 new words, or today, I'm going to have a conversation in English, setting small, achievable goals kept me motivated. Another thing that helped was surrounding myself with English. I changed my phone settings to English, I read English signs, and I tried to think in English. It made a big difference. I also found that it's important to be kind to yourself. Learning a language is hard. There will be days when you feel like you're not making progress. But that's okay. As long as you keep going, you're doing great. Looking back, I'm amazed at how far I've come. I went from knowing nothing to being able to speak fluently. It wasn't an easy journey, but it was worth it. I'm so proud of myself. If you're learning English, I want to tell you this: don't give up. It might be hard now, but you will improve. Keep trying, keep practicing, and one day you'll look back and see how much you've grown. I still remember the day I had my first full conversation in English. It felt like a dream. I couldn't believe I had done it. All the hard work, the struggles, the tears, they all led to that moment. It was a moment of victory. There were days when I wanted to quit. There were days when I felt like I would never learn. But I kept going. and I'm so glad I did. Because now I can speak English. I can communicate with people. I can express myself. It's a feeling of freedom. I want to leave you with this thought: no matter how hard it seems, you can do it. You can learn. You can improve. Just take it one step at a time and don't be afraid to make mistakes. As they say, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So keep going, keep learning, and one day you'll be fluent too. I believe in you.